Very good day, guys. Welcome back. I am your host, Dr. Sachin Yadav. So, how are all you doing? I think you are all doing well wherever you are present now. So, today in this series of the 3D video, we are going to learn about the epiglottis here. You can see this epiglottis. It is a thin leaf-like plate of the elastic cartilage, and it is projecting anatomically. It is projecting upward and posteriorly behind the tongue and the hyoid bone. Okay, and in front of the laryngeal inlet. So its pre-end is broad and round, and sometimes there is the presence of the notch in the midline. So it is directed upward, and its attached part. So its attached part or the stalk is long and narrow and is connected by the elastic thyroepiglottic ligament to the back of the laryngeal prominence of the thyroid cartilage, just below the thyroid notch. This is the thyroid notch. So just below that here it is attached, and its sides are attached to the arytenoid cartilage. This is the side, so they are attached to the arytenoid cartilage by a port known as the aryepiglottic folds, and this port is containing a muscle known as the aryepiglotticus or aryepiglottic muscle. Now you can see its pre-upper anterior or lingual surface. It is covered by the mucosa, which is having the non-keratinized stratified squamous epithelium, and it is reflecting onto the pharyngeal aspect of the tongue on the lateral pharyngeal wall as median glossoepiglottic and two lateral glossoepiglottic folds. There is a depression that is known as the valvula on each side of the median fold. And the lower part of the anterior surface behind the hyoid bone and the thyrohyoid membrane, it is connected to the upper border of the hyoid by an hyoepiglottic ligament and separated from the thyroid membrane by adipose tissue, presence of the adipose tissue. And this constitutes the clinical importance for the pre-epiglottic space. So now its smooth posterior surface or the laryngeal surface you can see here. So it is transversely concave, you can observe here, and it is vertically concave convex, and this is covered by the ciliated respiratory mucosa, that is respiratory mucosa, and its lower part which is projecting here, it is known as the called as tubercle, epiglottic tubercle. So this surface is forming the oblique anterior wall of the laryngeal vestibule, and this cartilage when you see in your hand in the real specimen, so it is having the various pits. Okay, so that is the presence of the mucus gland, and it is also perforated by the branches of the internal laryngeal nerve and the fibrous tissue. Okay guys, so this was about the epiglottis. So what is the function of the epiglottis? So basically during the swelling, when the hyoid bone is moving upward and forward and the epiglottis is bent posteriorly as a result of passive pressure from the tongue from the anterior side and active contraction of the aryepiglotticus muscle. Now the epiglottis is not essential necessary for the process of the swallowing. So it can occur, the swallowing can occur with the minimal aspiration only, even if there is the absence of the epiglottis. So it basically helps in the diversion of the food and the liquids away from the laryngeal inlet into the lateral food channels. And it is also not essential for the respiration or the voice production or the phonation. Okay guys, so this was about the epiglottis. So guys, though I hope you have understood it well all. So we'll stop here. Then next part of the larynx we'll take. We'll meet in the talk about it that in the next video. So till now, so thanks for your listening and the patience. So we'll meet again with the new videos like this. Till then, thank you very much. Goodbye.